Hey everybody, Hal Fisher here with BAM, and I'm here with one of our up-and-coming superstar students in the Badass Marketers program. She's one of our new students in BAM University. Say hello, Tanya.
Hey everybody.
Hey. So we're shooting this video December 23rd, 2020, just as we start to kind of move in to the holidays, to the end of the year. And I wanted to jump on with you because I know that you've been in BAM now a little less than a month, only maybe about 3 weeks. And it's been an incredible journey for you just in that short period of time. But also, before we get into that, I want to talk about a little bit of your life story and how you kind of got to where you are today. So just, briefly kind of tell me a little bit about you and your background before you kind of started here with BAM.
All right. Well, I served in the Air Force for 23 years, and while I was in the Air Force, I started my dance studio. In 2009, I got really sick with I deployed and I got sick. So everything changed after that. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so long story short, I got sick with fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is a disease where you really, if you're not able to move, then your life just stops. And a lot of people, they give up on that. So I opened up my dance studio before I retired. That way I had to move. And I've been having to move since then. And I'm a lot more, I can like move more than a lot of people can with fibro. I'm more active. I remember I went to Sam's Club once, and I used to, that's why we get like all the stuff from my dance studio. And I went into Sam's Club. This was after I had fibro for years. And this lady comes up to me, and she looks so frail. And she was like, "Ma'am, can you help me? I need to pick up these waters, and I can't get into my cart." And I was like, "Okay, no big deal." She's like, "I'm sorry, I got fibromyalgia." I was like, "Oh, no worries, girl. I do too." And she's like, "What? How are you?" And I was like, I don't like to preach to people. I was just like, "I got a dance studio. Here's my card. If you want to talk, just come and see me." I never heard from her, but I'm a walking testimony that keeping your mind active too.
So that's incredible. So over 20 years, in the military, and then while you're in the military, you get this disease, fibromyalgia, and then you decide to open up a dance studio. So in the military, open up a dance studio with this disease. Obviously, you're busy. This is taking a lot of time for you. Like, what was it that kind of kept you going through it? Like, was it a mentality thing, some sort of mental toughness? Obviously, we know people in the military have a certain mindset. Like, what was it that allowed you to kind of keep going?
I really, really appreciate my time in the military. And now that I'm retired and I'm not surrounded by military people, I understand how differently they train you to think. And in the military, if they tell you to do something, there's no reason that you cannot do it. There's no acceptable reason that you can't do what you were told to do. You find a way. If they said that you could do it, somebody figured you could do it, so do it. And that mentality has really kept me going. And I think that now, I'm like stubborn now too. Like if it's in my mind and I started doing it, I gotta do it. There's no reason not to. No reason. Not even fibro. Fibro is not like a. I've had to change my mindset about that too, because sometimes fibro is. At times I gotta listen to my body. So that mentality has hurt me a little bit, and but I'm learning now balance. But most times, no, there's no excuses. That's one thing I like about Josh. The whole F your excuses thing is true. It's hard to accept sometimes, because sometimes you feel kind of justified in why you can't, whatever. But long story short, if you got to do something and you didn't do it, no matter why, it's still not good. It's not good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a tremendous thing to kind of to overcome and still deal with, right? Because it's not something that, it's constantly keeps going. So you have to put yourself in the right mindset
That's
every
crazy.
day. And then also to choose, entrepreneurship, right? Which you don't really have anybody telling you what to do, right? Like you've got to go out and do it yourself. So why did you choose entrepreneurship?
Well, the women in my family are like crazy ambitious and entrepreneurial. A lot of women in my family have like that. My cousin Linda, she's been an entrepreneur for years, and she's like one of my favorite cousins. So I would listen to her growing up. I remember she would do like those home-based businesses. I remember stuffing envelopes with her, and she giving me a cut of the money. So watching her growing up and seeing her having, being an entrepreneur, my sister-in-law, I have a cousin who's a lawyer. It's just watching the women in my family. They're like go-getters. I mean, even my mom, she wasn't actually her too, because I remember her opening up this little spot at the flea market. It wasn't her thing. My mom is not an entrepreneur, but she she did try it, and she's tried different things. So yeah, I just realized that. Thanks, hey.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you come from a long line of really strong, powerful women, powerful role models that have all chosen to be entrepreneurs. So
And some, or even not. Yeah. Wow.
yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say, right?
Wow. Okay, I'm not the conversation.
So pretty cool. So you go from the military
Yeah.
to the dance studio, and then you come along this crazy business, online marketing, digital real estate, search engine optimization, Josh Osborne, badass marketers, right? Like, how did you come across this?
I knew Josh was the man when he got me to open up, read that long Facebook ad that he had. I read the whole thing, and he just sparked my mind immediately with the digital real estate. And I'm like, okay, number one, he just threw away a nugget that I later on, went out and started reaching out to businesses about. Because I could see it, man. I could get a domain, set up a website, and sell it to this guy. Yes, because I know from having my own business and fooling around on the backside of it, a lot of people don't have time or the want to fool with making a website. Uh, so heck yeah, I can see it immediately that I could provide a service. This is something people need. They need it. They need it today. I know I don't fool with people if they don't have a website.
So,
Right?
so obviously it made sense to you, right? So from a practical standpoint, you read his ad, you were engaged in it, but like what was going on in your life that said, that I need to make a change from what I'm doing, or I need to move towards something else? Like what was going on with you personally that, the light bulb went off and said, you know what, I've got to do something. I got to do something now.
Well, I just went through I closed my dance studio in 2017. And, I was open from 2011, 2017. I have no regrets about closing it because, like I was telling you earlier, I was still, doing okay. But going through divorce and then the fibro, that's when I really got to see firsthand what happens if I let the fibro get out of control, because it really, really is a horrible disease. I have to stay on top of it. So everything got away from me. I wound up closing the studio down. And then just fast forward to like, I don't know, today, I'm finally to the point where I'm kind of digging myself out of the whole going through the divorce thing and all the financial stuff that comes with that. Like my mortgage was behind, just getting out of all that stuff. And it was just all of these things came together, and I'm finally getting the problem back under control and getting my mind back right. And I just felt like I was ready. I was ready. Actually, I felt pushed because I wasn't doing anything. I finished my I got I tested for the state board for massage, but this right here, that's COVID. I can't do that right now. I cannot do it. But Josh's program came up at a time when, I could imagine if I can get this digital stuff up and running later on when COVID's gone, I can open up my dance studio, which ties in with massage. I'm doing big things, y'all.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to, I won't have to count on other people for this knowledge to get myself right.
Yeah, it's incredible, right? Like the skill set that we teach in here, just on the marketing side alone, gives you the confidence to know that you could open up whatever business that you wanted. If you want to go back in a dance studio, you can open that because you know how to market, you know how to get customers. If you want to do massage, you know how to market it, you know how to get customers. Regardless of what the business is, you can start it, right? So it's more than just the skills of doing this for other businesses, but if you wanted to start your own business, doing something else locally, you could do that, right? So it gives you that confidence and know how to be able to do something like that. There's lots of different paths once you learn this skill set that it can take you.
This is priceless. What Josh is teaching us is priceless. Y'all, it's priceless. Yes, you can do so much with it. You can do so much. So much. I'm so excited about the sales accelerator.
Yeah. So you see the ad and you're like, oh man, this makes sense, right? Like, I've got to do something. I've closed my dance studio, not really doing much. I've got to get some income. Things are tough. Bills are stacking up. And then what do you do next? Do you schedule a call? Do you dig in and do more research? What happens next?
Oh, okay. So but there's so many scam artists out there. So I started researching them. And what sold me is I was like pretty, for programs like this, you're always gonna have people who say that it sucks. Always. But I was digging, I wound up on this Reddit and somebody was talking about how this program wasn't any good and it's expensive and people were piping in. But one of your students went out of his way to dig down into this same place I was to talk about how awesome Josh was. And it really seemed sincere because you can't tell, but even if it wasn't, it was still awesome either way. Great idea, or the student is really, he's got some loyal people. That's some loyalty right there to go out of your way to say, And I mean, he didn't even just say one sentence, it was a paragraph on how amazing Josh was. And it was just like that. He's got a really good reputation online. He's just throwing away all these free nuggets. And I'm like, if he's throwing away all this free stuff, what's he selling in that program? I want that. I want that stuff in there. And I just knew then that I would figure out a way. I had no idea when I was searching for it how expensive it was gonna be. At all. At all. But actually, once I saw that Reddit, and I think the guy mentioned the price, but he also was back and Josh sold rock. That's what it was. He told how much it was, so I knew it wasn't just like one of you guys like just sneaking some stuff in there. He was like, look, it's this much, but he's got scholarships, he's got this. If you can pay it off, if you do it in 3 months. I mean, whoever it was, he was just all about you guys, and that was it. So
Where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yes, sir. So I made the when I found out, Coach Robert called me. Like I was like, well, maybe they'll have like a payment plan and I'll be able to do something. I don't know. I wasn't counting on $1,000 a month, but okay. But he told me, I was like, all right, I'm gonna make it happen. He's like, I said, give me a few weeks. On the first, I'll do it either way. I'll either be paid normally, or I'll just raise it up, Uber Eats it, whatever I gotta do. And so I just thought of doing a GoFundMe because I used it before I used to have a dance team, and that's how we raised money once to take our team to Arizona and to go perform. So I used it once before and it was helpful, but I did it, and once I was not once I had to talk myself into doing it, you know, because I really put like all my business out there, letting people know that I needed $1,000, but I had to be humble and just I needed help. I needed help and I wanted this program. So here I am.
That's awesome. So you started a GoFundMe campaign.
I did.
This is something that you've done before, right? For dance teams and things like that.
I've
And this,
only done it once before.
okay. So you knew kind of about it, and like, you know, and I always say, being resourceful is the ultimate resource, right? So
Yes.
put your thinking cap on. You said, hey, this is something that I want to do. I don't have all the money right now, but I'm going to figure a way to get started sooner or later, right? So you go on GoFundMe, which is a platform that people use to raise money for all kinds of stuff, right? To
Yeah.
go on trips, to you know, to go to college, to go to a trade school, and now to invest in becoming a badass marketer, right? So you put the GoFundMe page up, and then how did you kind of advertise it or market it to get people to know about it?
Oh, social media, tagging it everywhere, everywhere, calling people, and people saw it. They saw it.
And you were very vulnerable, right, in your post, and you talked about your struggles and what you're struggling with, and what you thought that this business could do for you and where it could, and then how you could give back to that. So you told your story through it, which
Yeah, I wanted to be transparent because like I told you how I really had to talk myself into doing this. I didn't want to, but I knew that it was the only way. And it was just like, Tanya, you need help right now. Just I know people love me. Somebody would want to help me out. So I was like, if I tell the people I love that I needed some help, I knew that.
awesome. And you got it, you found a way, people believed in you, and now you get started with BAM, right? And then what happens? It's like, okay, now it's real, right? So you raise enough money, you get in, you get started. What do you do next?
All right, so I'm so excited. I go in, I open up the dashboard. Oh my goodness, you click on it, it's like all of these freaking things. But Coach Robert told me, vision precision, start there first. So that's where I started, get my goals. And I knew the importance of the vision board. And then I was so excited because I knew that at the end of this, I was gonna have like my own marketing agency, y'all, and that's what kept me going. I just went in order because program says go in order. So, and this guy is freaking successful. I want to do what he's doing. So I just went through and got my agency site up. But there's a lot of information. There's all the information, but I just opened up my tablet next to me. I had my laptop and just step by step as Josh was building the website, I was building mine. I would freeze it, go figure out whatever it was that he just told me to do, and then come back to it step by step because I knew that when it was done, my agency site would be up, and then I could sell myself. I could sell myself in what I do.
Awesome. So you get in, you're less than a month in, you trust the process, you trust Josh, you trust what he's saying. He lays out the plan for you in the BAM University. You've set your goals tremendously. First thing that you do to understand why you're doing this and what you're trying to achieve, right? And then BAM, you go in and you start learning the skill set of building a website, and you build your first one. You build your agency website, right?
I did.
Right. And then what do you do next? Once you got
I was so excited. I had to tell everybody about it. So I posted it everywhere, all over the place, and let everybody know about my website that Josh Osborne helped me build. I got an agency, y'all. I'm in business. And I was in business, and things have just been happening.
That's awesome. So you once again trust the process, follow the process, and do a technique that Josh teaches in there called shouting from the rooftops.
Shouting from the rooftops, my specialty.
Yeah. So you do that, and then what happens next?
Oh gosh, so I had I got one client was a church, which has been having these early clients made me realize how much I need to finish up this program. Oh my
Wait a minute, you're not a
goodness.
month in. You're not a month in yet. You got one client.
I got one client. I have another client who her I'm feeling better. That's two clients. I have one potentially big client. Now he's the one when Josh with the Facebook ad, he's the one that I went after initially, like digital real estate. Like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to this guy, the tobacco place. And as I was talking to him, I realized I'm not gonna lose this one. I need some training. I need some training. So I'm just like dealing with him little by little, and but trying to close anything, no, not until I feel fully comfortable with this, because I think that that's gonna be a winner right there.
Awesome. So 3 clients here in less than 30 days. All right. So you're already on the way to recouping.
And another potential one.
Oh, don't let me stop you. Keep going. I don't want to get it mixed up here.
Yeah, then the one who called yesterday? The one who called yesterday.
Someone called you.
Huh?
They called you.
They called me. I didn't know what was going on. He's mentioning websites, and I'm like, okay, but he's also mentioning Josh and Bam. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now, but what it finally turned out to be is this guy found Josh's program, was super interested in not actually doing the program, but he was happy with that lead gen stuff, and he could see that thing growing. And he's a salesman. He could basically be like my cold caller, finishing a success dude already. I can see that off of him. But he wants something. It was awesome. He
That's
found
cool.
me.
So you got this potential partner that finds you,
But
somebody
he's paying me for the website though.
yeah, somebody who already has a list of clients or people that he's working with, and then wants to partner with you, to build out some of these lead gens. That's
Yep.
incredible.
He wanted what Josh had to offer. He knew that I would train with Josh. He was like, "What you know?" And it was amazing because he's asking me all these questions and I got the answers. Thanks, guys.
Wait a minute, I'm less than a month in, but I know a lot more than what I think I know.
He's amazed because I was able to. He found me looking for Josh. He found me through my website that Josh taught me how to build. So he saw firsthand. I was like, I just started 30 November. I hadn't even been a month. He was like, what? I wanted. He was like, I don't want to join that class stuff. I'll pay for these websites. And I know how to do this. But he called me back today. He's so serious. It doesn't seem like it was BS because I was kind of concerned. But it took me a minute to once I realized, because he called me. And I don't even know how much stuff is supposed to be yet. I haven't gotten to that part. How much supposed to be charging?
Wow. And now, I see you in the group, like actually reaching out, helping other people that have been in the group longer than you, right? So I seen some stuff and some posts that you put in there, the other day, and it's like, now you're reaching back out within the group. So tell me a little bit about that.
It's just that I know how it is. I have like so much stuff working against me, and I know how it is to be faced with a bunch of information and not be able to focus on the one thing that you need to do. And I also know what it is. Believe it or not, I used to be. I'm scared to death to talk in front of people. I am scared to death. That is like an inside fear that I have had to. I say it's a blessing because the Air Force volunteered me, you're going to be an instructor. I had to go through thick. I had to give 50-minute speeches, and I had no choice. Why? Because what? F your excuses. You're in the Air Force. We told you to do it, so guess what you're about to do? Oh, while you're at it, finish up your degree. So, but all of that work to, I understand how it is to be afraid. I understand how it feels for that one call to seem like the biggest thing in the world. And it's really not. Because you're just talking to people. You're just talking to them, and either they don't like what you gotta say, hang up. Or they like it, and guess what? No, either way, it doesn't matter, and you don't know them.
Exactly. And I think, I look at you, and now it's like, you're giving back within the community, because you see a lot of these people that have these same struggles or have these same challenges or have these same fears, and you're kind of, overcoming them, with them or together with them, or can see yourself in them, and now like you're giving back, right? And that's
Yeah,
what
I see the struggle. I see the struggle. I know how hard it is to get over. Something so simple. It's like some simple things. And just, some people just need some help just focusing. Here, just do this one thing right now. And this is how you do it to make it easier. Just focus on this part right here, and then go from there. Don't worry about all the extra right now. That's all extra, not for what you want.
Really? Yeah, and I mean, and that's the beauty about the community that we have, right? So it's
Yeah.
Josh, it's the training. Obviously, it's world-class training, best in class training. But then there's also this community that Josh has put together, right? With at the time that we're recording this is over 700 people here, closing out the 2020 in the program, that are almost like taking on themselves the same thing that Josh pushes out about helping hand and helping community and helping people be resourceful. So we've kind of created this whole community in here. You've got the information, but then you also have the community and the support and the questions, and see people that are just like you in there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love knowing that I can go into this group. Actually, this whole program would be just crazy overwhelming if not for the Facebook group, because you can just go in there and just use the search bar. I know band helper, use the search bar, and so that's how I found that cold call video using the search bar. And then if you can't find what you want, then just ask somebody in the group, and somebody will help you.
And I've seen you on a few of Josh's lives, the Q&A lives that he does twice a week. So I've seen you on those as well, jumping in.
Yeah, you guys you're there. You're there. If you can be there, Josh can be there, somebody is there. It's not like you're just lost in this program by yourself. You just gotta make sure you go out there and ask questions. You got a question, just go into the group. There's no stupid questions. Actually, I've seen a couple of questions that I was happy somebody asked, because I knew it was coming. I just didn't get in there yet and ask. Just ask the question, because if you have it, more than likely 100 more of us do. I don't know. Ask it. Somebody will try to answer you.
Incredible, Tanya. I mean, it's a credible story. I appreciate your time and jumping on. I know that this video will help a lot of people who may be in your similar situation, maybe people who left the military, transitioned out, maybe corporate America is not for them, maybe,
Right?
entrepreneurship is for them, or maybe they come from an entrepreneurial family and they haven't been able to find their groove in the entrepreneurial community. Maybe this is for them, or maybe it's somebody that's struggling with a sickness or a health issue. That just is sitting there waiting for somebody to inspire them, that has been able to move through their challenges. Although you're still dealing with the challenges, you're able to kind of move through it. Or maybe somebody like you that's had a lot of fear in sales or in marketing or whatever it is, that's been able to overcome this by investing in a program. What would you say to those people? What would you say to them about if somebody's on the fence post thinking about joining BAM, but maybe they've have some of your similar background? If you could talk to you, what would you say?
If I could talk to me, I would say do it. Do not regret it. For it really appealed to the military and me, because TOs step by step is laid out for you. You don't have to just have a whole bunch of like non-direction is direction. There's steps, and the steps work. Making these cold calls the way that you guys say it. At the end, normally we'll have an email, or the person just really, really didn't want to do it. But it just works. It just works if you follow the steps. You gotta follow the steps.
As Josh says, trust the process, right? Get out of your own.
The process, it works. It just keeps on working for me. And then when I have questions, it's like you guys will come up with something. Just like I was getting to the point where I was like all this stuff is happening and I don't know, like, and then the sales accelerator thing pops up. Josh, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I mean, even the fact that you like offer it, that it's a wonderful program and there's something for everybody. There's something for everybody. For me, the SEO side of it, that appeals to me, the building up my site, the selling, what I'm doing there. I don't really like the lead gen side of it too much. I don't like all of that. It's too much for me personally.
I think you bring up a really good point, right? There's a couple different paths that people can go with this program, right? So it's not just a one-trick pony where we're teaching you how to sell SEO or we're teaching you how to build digital real estate, right? Like people get into this business, and there's normally one or two types of people. There's people that have less money and more time, and then they normally go the SEO route or selling digital services, right? And then there's people on the other side that they have more money and less time, and they go to build digital assets, right? They build digital real estate. And then a lot of times the people come and, they start doing the SEO, they start making all that money, and then they want to reinvest and then build those digital assets to have those. So I think that's one of the really great things about the program that really makes this unique and not like anything I've seen in the market, that there's a little something for everybody to do. So it's a full range digital marketing program, teaching you all the skill sets, all of the sales, the mindset, the goal setting, all that kind of stuff. And then you're able to pick a path that you want to go. You can go and sell your SEO and digital services, or you can go build your digital real estate empire, and you can do both of them as well. And there's different paths for different people.
Yeah, I like that. That's like, I love the, what do you call it? I can't think of the word, fog. But I love just the different options that you have.
It's not just one size fits all.
At all. But I also love that the information is there. So if I decide later on, because I'm not counting out anything at all, especially once the money starts coming in, I can just hire people to do stuff. So I'm not counting it out, but I just love that I can focus on what I want to focus on and have everything that I need to go where I want to go. I love that. Thanks,
That's
God.
great. That's great. Well, once again, I appreciate your time. And just in closing, what's the future? Like if you and I are sitting here a year from now, right? So right in December of 2021, and it's been a successful year. Where do you see yourself going? What is that vision? What needs to happen in that time frame for this to be like, wow, this was the best decision I ever made in my life?
I already feel like it. I already see myself there. But actually, I was just talking about a year from now, what it would look like. I was talking to my mom, and I was like, you know what, Mom? Because she likes to do something for her grandkids every year, and she's taking all of them to the beach. My mom, she doesn't have a lot, but she plans on for Christmas time, she's taking all her little grands to do something together for Christmas. So she was talking about it last night because she's taking the grands to her beach to go and do something. I'm not going. But she was like, you know what? I should start saving in January because this was really expensive. And I was like, you know what, man? Next time this year, you're not gonna have to worry about saving up for it. We'll take us a trip and it's gonna be beautiful. So this time next year, next Christmas, big family trip, y'all. Yes.
That's awesome. Well, I love it. There it is, Tanya. Appreciate your time. Former United States Air Force veteran, small business owner, fibromyalgia, survival, and just all around badass marketer. Thanks for spending time with us. We'll see you again. I know, really, really soon.
Yeah. Time to get to calling again. See you guys.
You getting it, boss lady?